Hello, this is Molly Reamer with this week's Ritual of Returning divination video and a little bit of a Goddess Guidance Club video with our Goddess of the Month, Persephone. And I decided the weather has really changed suddenly this week from -3 last week and piles of snow to warm. It was 70 degrees yesterday, it was 64 today, and you can feel it's almost like I talked about the being held at the point between the steeping and the leaping, and you can really feel spring. You can really feel Persephone's return. You can really feel spring whispering back into the land. And so I thought, I want to go outside to make this video. But now it's gotten a little chilly, so I'm a little cold out here. And there's a lot of wind. So I'm hoping that there's not too much distracting background noise as we go, because it is. But there's just it's shocking to me how swiftly it changed from feeling like the deep winter to spring is in the air. I am still recovering from my little cold, and so you can hear that in my voice. I apologize if that's distracting for you. Today we are exploring our Goddess of the Month, Persephone. We also have an assistance from the Earth Runes Oracle, which is the Oracle card system I created last year for the Goddess Magic community on Patreon. That's patreon.com/goddessmagic. And then we've got our Herb of the Month card from the Herbcrafter's Tarot, which is the deck I am using for our Herb of the Month this year. So we're going to go ahead and start with Earth Runes, and the Earth Runes card we received is the Mystery, which is the rune of mystery. So this is a rune of questions, of not knowing, of solitude. We've had this rune before in past rituals, and so I think it's going to invite us to encourage this week. It's inviting us to encourage how we can continue to sit with not knowing, how we can keep one foot in the stillness of winter, one foot poised at the threshold of possibility, moving forward into the things that are new, that are beckoning to us, but still leaving space for mystery, still leaving space for not having to choose yet. We've spoken about being at the crossroads and not necessarily having to set up camp there. You can't stay at the crossroads forever. You do have to choose a way forward. And so there's a little bit of time yet for sticking with the mystery, staying in the mystery, and not forcing yourself to choose too soon. And yet, you probably hear something beckoning. You probably hear something calling to you. You probably hear the next step on the breeze. You probably hear what to do. You probably hear what to trust. You probably hear that either whispering to you, beckoning to you, or you feel it from within, a yearning in your heart that is calling you onward. So I would say we see this mystery because the time is almost here to move out of mystery and into choice. And so, but it can also be a rune of reflection, of contentment, of pausing, of holding space, of letting go, and also a card of discovery. Like maybe it's time to step forth. Maybe it's time to step forth into the unknown. Maybe it is time to leap across the threshold. Maybe it is time to lean into the expansiveness of possibility. Maybe it's time to make new discoveries and find out what is calling your name. Okay, so Herb of the Month. You will see there's two cards here. The first is because this is the card that I actually chose for us as I was shuffling the deck, the Ten of Fire Comfrey, which, considering that our theme for the month is restore, a comfrey is a very restorative, nurturing, healing herb, so it actually really fits well. But then, as I was flipping through the book, what did I see? But the pomegranate is here as well as the Nine of Air, and so then I had to naturally. So this one's intuitively chosen. This one is intentionally chosen for us, the Nine of Air pomegranate. So we're going to start with the Ten of Fire, Comfrey, and the invitations from Comfrey for this month. And so, interestingly pointing out at the very beginning, there can be too much of a good thing. Stop, step away, soothe yourself, cut it down, and it roars back to life. And so that is referring to the actual properties of comfrey, which it is powerful herb of regeneration, and so it comes back again and again. I used to grow comfrey, and the only thing that finally ended up killing it was our ducks at the time, who could not get enough of it, and they eventually destroyed it by rooting around in it. Otherwise, comfrey regenerates and regenerates and regenerates, and it also regenerates tissue. They use it for wound healing, etc. It's a regenerative herb. That's why I think it's so good for this month of restoration. So interesting to have the message that there can be too much of a good thing. We still might need to stop and step away. So is there an area in your life in which you are feeling an overabundance? Are you feeling an overwhelm? Are you feeling, maybe when we talked about mystery and choosing and staying at the crossroads, maybe you're feeling the yearning, the calling, the beckoning of too many new ideas, of too many new possibilities. And so it is kind of a point of where you feel a little frozen with indecision or not being able to make a choice, because perhaps there is too many things that need your attention, too much that calls your name, too many seeds of possibility, and you have to choose which ones to plant. So stop, step away, soothe yourself. And so she says this, which I think is very powerful. Peace follows overwhelm. Peace follows overwhelm. You may feel overextended. The shelves in this room are full, yet the crafting continues. Rest and replenish so your experiences can take root. Rest and replenish so your experiences can take root. We need rest so that what we've learned, what we want, what we've discovered can take root. What we found in sitting with mystery, what we found as we sit with mystery, can take root. And those little seeds that we were wanting to grow can actually grow. Refresh your love of creating by releasing some self-imposed responsibilities. Refresh your love of creating by releasing some self-imposed responsibilities. Comfrey can quickly become burdensome and difficult to manage, but it will regenerate. Even a small amount can quickly flourish into a new plant. Commit to just a few tasks and set the rest aside. So commit to, I often encourage my own children when we do our ritual at Imbolc, to commit to a one seed dream. Hold one seed dream, something that you're going to carry through till the spring equinox at least, and then you can revisit it at the spring equinox. And then decide what else to nourish, or whether you're going to continue nourishing that same seed dream from the spring equinox to Beltane. So you have that same invitation now. What one seed do you wish to nourish? Or maybe you have a few, but what do you wish to nourish? Commit to a few tasks and set the rest aside. Pushing too hard leads to waste and exhaustion. Do not be afraid to give away some of your creative ideas, or let them rest, let them sit. When you harvest too much, let what you cannot use feed the soil for next season's growth. So then some practice ideas from the book. Write down what you need to release, roll it tightly in a comfrey leaf, and then burn the leaf when it is dry. Make a comfrey salve for burns, bruises, and injuries. Each time you use the salve, let it be an invitation to rest and soothe your overworked spirit. If you have any comfrey breaths, use some dried comfrey as an offering, burn it, etc. You can use comfrey in magical practice, on an altar, or in spells to inspire you to come back to life. So that's another powerful connection to restore. And this time of year is that, what do you need to inspire you to come back to life? What are you breathing life into? That's that seed of possibility that you planted at Imbolc, or that you're starting to nourish, your seed dream that you started to hold close to your heart, breathing your warm breath upon it. What does it need? What does it need to come to life? What does it need to come to life? And then we're going to pop on over to our beautiful pomegranate here. Pomegranates just make me so happy. I have such a positive association with the pomegranate, with Persephone. Persephone is my goddess, and I am so happy to be re-exploring her this year. It feels like this. I wrote Walking with Persephone. The process of Walking with Persephone, I started at this exact same time of year 6 years ago, and it just feels like a really powerful invitation to return, to rejourney, to reclaim, to restore, to remember, to renew, all those things. So delighted to pop into experience with pomegranate again today. And so this is what they say about pomegranate. No love, no grief. As in KNOW, no love, no grief. Claim your underworld crown. You are the sky, everything else is the weather. So the you are the sky, everything else in the weather comes from Pema Chodron, but then the no love, no grief, and claim your underworld crown comes from Letitia Guthrie. The branches of the tall pomegranate tree sag with ripe, heavy fruit. Beyond the tree, a pathway leads to a desert mountain. The sun disappears, then reappears beneath unpredictable storm clouds. Let go of what you cannot control. Let go of what you cannot control. Pomegranate is the tree that leads to Demeter's agonizing loss in the Greek myth. Persephone consumes the seeds and seals her fate as queen of the underworld, or knowingly does so to help the underworld souls. As a hike through the desert will prove, pain is one path to wisdom. When heartache enters your life, do not turn away. In The Prophet, Khalil Gibran says, the deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Do not hurry your grief. Pomegranate fruit must be harvested at just the right time. It will not ripen off the tree. You will live through shattering experiences and still stand proud. When you are ready, quench the thirst of guilt, regret, and worry. Invite in forgiveness. So I think that's really positive. When you're ready, quench the thirst of guilt, regret, and worry, and invite in forgiveness. So an affirmation for this week might be, I invite in forgiveness. I invite in forgiveness. I know love and I know grief. I claim my underworld crown. And I didn't give any affirmations for our 10. Let me see if I can get something back there. Oh, yeah, a good affirmation there is, I stop, I step away, I soothe myself. Another one might be, I release some self-imposed responsibility. I commit to a few tasks. I commit to my seed dream. I choose with purpose. I act with purpose. I am clear and ready. I'm clear, present, and ready. So lots of possibilities here. And then she has a suggestion for crafting or practices with the pomegranate. One, you can write your grief with a feather in pomegranate juice. You can get a nice pomegranate and slice it open and enjoy the seeds, claiming your underworld crown. You can drink pomegranate juice to calm the spirit and heal the heart when it is overcome by emotion. So there's a lot to cover here today, and it's getting a little longer than I intended, but we're going to go over to Persephone here. I have two versions of the Persephone Story Goddess Oracle card. We're going to go ahead and go with this one. So Persephone, as many of you probably already know, is the Greek maiden goddess of nature in the springtime who goes into the underworld with Hades and becomes responsible for guiding lost souls on their journey. Each year, she returns to the earth to reunite with her mother, the harvest goddess, Demeter, and she brings the spring. She's associated with descent and renewal, with growth and change, with sacred journeys, the underworld, and self-sovereignty, as well as with regeneration. And so in this process, she's both the queen of springtime, the maiden of spring, and the queen of the underworld, the queen of grief, the queen of darkness. And so she has all those multiplicity of experiences. She is queen, she is maiden, she is underworld goddess, she is earth goddess. She's all those things in one. And so she can represent freedom, delight, energy, beauty, perseverance, as well as the ability to navigate new terrain, bring comfort to others, and heal wounds. And so if you want to explore more, feel free to check out Walking with Persephone. And you can also join us over in the Goddess Magic Patreon, which many of you who are watching this are already members there. So thank you so much for being members. But if you aren't and you want to join in, I'm doing an audiobook rendition of Walking with Persephone in March. And so I invite you to join us for that. So, okay, so tiny little ritual from the Persephone card. The word on the back is desire. That's my Omen Days word for March. And the affirmation is, I restore myself to wholeness. I restore myself to wholeness. I listen to desire and let it lead me. I listen to desire and let it lead me. And then a brief reminder. Each day, this is perfect for the crossroads that I was talking about. Each day we are invited to choose a way. Pause to listen. Feel desire and the sacred join hands. Allow clarity to descend and ease to open the path forward. Allow clarity to descend and ease to open the path forward. And then our very last, can she do it? Our very last little reminder is Persephone's poem. Listen, I know the magic. I dance with power. I have tasted mystery and laughed. I move through the underworld, leaving light with every step. The earth is kissed with flowers at my return. Thank you so much for being here. Keep living your magic, everybody. Bye-bye.